This first section I'm going to show you a couple of different roof vent styles and something you can put over a vent to prevent rain from coming in.
These are the noisy kind of ceiling fan vents that would drive you nuts. And as well, there's no rain cover on top of it, so if it's raining, you're not going to be able to use this thing. The Fantastic vent is a very nice vent. The blades on it are very large, and they're typically a variable speed fan, so you can have them on a very low setting that you're hardly going to hear them running. Of course, the price, like this one's like $400, so they're not cheap, but you get what you pay for when you get one of those. MaxxAir covers are really handy to have on vents that don't have an auto rain sensor. And even if it has an auto rain sensor, if that sensor fails, having the MaxxAir cover would save your day. Because if it's a very hot day and you've got the ceiling fan running and you leave the trailer and then it starts to rain, well, with this cover on, the air can continue to come out without the rain going in. If you're camping in the spring or fall when it gets cold, some people will use these things. You stuff them into your ceiling vent to add insulation. But the other thing you got to be aware of if you're using heat in your trailer, like in the spring or fall, is to be considering using a dehumidifier, because otherwise with your trailer all closed up, like all the windows are closed, all the vents are closed, you're in there breathing and you're creating a lot of moisture, well, especially if you take a shower or if you're doing any cooking. So you should have a dehumidifier to get that humidity out of the air. Otherwise it's going to go into the trailer walls and then you're going to end up with mold issues. It's good to have these eaves trough extensions on your trailer so that the water runs away from the trailer and doesn't run down the side and potentially get into an opening or cause dark marks. This is nice. On this slide out, they've added a second eaves trough with extension so that the water coming down off the roof that makes it over the upper eaves trough because of heavy rain would conceivably hit that lower eaves trough and take the water away from getting into that top seal. I suppose also with when the slide is closed, that's going to prevent water from getting into the top seal. Good to carry a roll of this stuff for emergency roof repairs, like if you're pulling into a campground and a tree branch catches the corner of your roof, you want to be able to seal it up right away. This is for EDPM, which is the most common roof material. The other type is TPO vinyl. And then years ago they had aluminum, but you don't see that much anymore. You're going to need roof sealant and edge sealant along the side of the trailer. So there's non-sag, which you would put along a vertical surface, and then there's self-leveling, which you put on a horizontal surface like the top of the roof. The self-leveling just spreads out amazingly. And I had tried using regular caulking like at Home Depot, and it's not worth it. So better to buy the good stuff.
As far as I know, there's 3 different types of roofing material. There's aluminum, which can leak if it's riveted, where the rivets corrode and leak, or along the seam of the aluminum. Then there's EDPM rubber, which is very common. And then less common is TPO vinyl, which has a new name, which this lady's going to tell us about. All of them eventually leak.
So this is a seamless Dyflex 2 material, which is a TPO product.
Some trailers will come with a ladder on the back. I myself don't use mine. I just figure I'd probably be halfway up and it would come flying off the trailer. So I picked up a ladder at Canadian Tire. The campground also has some ladders, or you can borrow mine. Of course, you got to be careful when you're on a ladder, especially if you're up on the roof of a trailer and it's wet up there, because you don't want to have to visit the Kenora Hospital.
A ladder is useful. I have one on mine and I've never trusted it. I figure the last thing I need is to climb up and have it break off from the roof. But otherwise, they probably are safe, especially this particular one that's attached there, attached there, attached there, and attached up on top. So they're doing a really good job on that one.
I'll be adding a segment here on finding cracks. This is both on the roof edges, any items that protrude through the roof, like your sewer vent or your bathroom fan, and then also down the side of the trailer, any of the areas where there's any type of caulking. I at least twice a year go over the whole trailer looking for any cracks I can find, and when I find them I put a little piece of masking tape on them so that I can come back later, clean out the crack and reapply caulking so I don't have any water issues.